let's get started a little bit. Some explanation. First of all, and I'll sit on the tailgate of the truck for a minute. First of all, YouTube, I'm not getting a lot of love if the subject matter doesn't involve sawmilling or timber framing. My channel's around homesteading. A lot of subject matter is involved in homesteading. Yeah, I run the sawmill, and yes, I'm doing a timber frame homestead cabin. But I've been doing this for a lot of years, and in order to be financially sound enough that I can just do this stuff as a hobby. This has been a dream of mine for years. If you're coming out of a major city into a homestead, you don't have that kind of leisure time. You're doing this, and I'm going to show my people, or my channel, how to do from plumbing to a skill saw to building fence. And if YouTube doesn't like it, they can just go to town and they don't have to be around. So this is around a chainsaw repair. Now I've got a farm boss here I've had a long time, and when I went to cut some logs, which if you follow my channel, you know that the previous video, I needed another log on the sawmill for the timber frame, and this chain was dull. I'm going to replace this chain, or show you how to replace this chain on this, and one trick around if you're replacing a chain on a chainsaw. But also in that, if you are following along and you like my content, please hit the like and subscribe button. So I'm going to move the camera over so you can get a better view. You'll just be able to see the chainsaw, and then after that we're going to change the chain, go over and buck some of these edgings up, because we need some of this edging or some of this firewood set in a stack to dry for this coming winter. Okay, you should be able to see the back of the truck. Just a farm truck. I know what's rolling around in your head as we speak is, okay, well, why don't you have a UTV or a side-by-side? Well, let me bend down a little bit so I can get in frame, because they cost too much. I'm driving around a $3,000 farm truck, four-wheel drive. I can drive to town. I've had for at least 10 years. When I go to price out a side-by-side or a UTV, they start at $30,000. You know what I can do with $30,000? I'd rather just keep my $27,000 in the bank so I can buy other stuff and drive around in an old red Dodge full of junk. And this is the way that most farm trucks look to me, or most farm trucks I've seen in my lifetime look like. But anyway, that's why I drive around in an old beat up farm truck. Okay, so the trick is, saw comes like this with the name up, so you can read the name. This end of the bar is wore down. When you change the chain, flip the bar. I know it's going to look awkward, but that means that this part of that bar is going to wear, and the top part of the bar is going to stop wearing, and so you can get twice as much lifetime out of this bar. Remember, I'm cheap. Okay, kind of set it up like this so you can see it a little bit. If I can get it propped there, get your chain oriented the correct direction, and I kind of get it started in the teeth a little bit, because it's easier when it's not on the bar. Kind of get that set up a little bit like that, and it's got debris in that bar because I cleaned some of that out. Set it in the guides. Remember, it's upside down. Okay, so that's way, for that chain, that's way too tight. Okay, so there's a deal on this. Screw in the middle of this farm boss. See this pin right here? That's what does your tension on your chain. Run that back. Run that back quite a ways. Because it was entirely too tight when I started out. And then I'll show you another trick here in just a minute. Got that back off a little bit. Got the chain started in the bar. see if it sits in that slot. There's a pin there. Get that on that sprocket a little bit and see if that pin, yep, that'll work. Okay. Get that back in that guide, that bar guide, a little bit, like that. And then grab your cover. I just got a standard saw wrench, no big deal. And normally the saw wrenches come with the saw. Get it started a little bit so you can turn it over. Nuts, a couple nuts. And I usually just go hand tight now. Sit that down. Okay, so that's not spinning. That should rotate a little bit. Means I don't have it all the way in place. Let's tighten that up a little bit and see how it goes. Going the wrong way. See how that's coming up? There it goes. Let's do that again a little bit. Let's verify it's in the sprocket. Yeah, it's in the sprocket. Okay. Tighten that up a little bit more. Go the correct direction. Now I don't do chain tension yet. Just get it started. And make sure I got it. Okay, so I need it tighter than that. Tighten these up a little bit more. And the correct tension is when you lift it up, you should see one full tooth and two partial teeth, and that's close enough to get it started. A little bit more. I'm going to move the camera.